Hello, I'm Sharpened Blade, and today we are going to look at the Damn Designs Djinn. So back in the day, I used to play with, maybe some of you will remember this, maybe this was just a product of the 90s, but I used to play with a toy called Cool Tools. Now basically what they were tiny tools. So just kid-sized tools made on a very small scale. I don't know why it would appeal to someone, but anyways, just like hammers and saws, screwdrivers, you name it. If there's a tool that exists in real life, Cool Tools has a kid version of it. It sounds kind of lame when you say it out loud, but anyways, I used to like them. So this knife reminds me of Cool Tools. Burn, but not really. No, I mean in a good way, of course. It kind of gives me like a weird sense of nostalgia whenever I use it, but it's also kind of just a fun knife. Now, I don't know what makes me think of that, if it's the small size, but I have other small knives that don't make me think of that. If it's the blue, could be the fact it's blue. Blue's a very fun color. Could be the blade shape. It's a very stylized blade shape. It's got like a drop point, clip point, harpoon kind of a look to it. So I can zoom in. I don't know if maybe this is too zoomed in. I don't know. I had it flipped around the other way, front facing, but it quality sucked. So I'm doing it this way, but I don't know what's going on behind the camera. So anyway, so yeah, it's kind of like a very stylized blade shape. It's very fun looking. There's jimping up here, and it's a D2 blade, satin finish, flat grind, very slicey. Very slicey. It's, I don't know if you can, make sure I can line it up with the camera. It's very thin, so it's very slicey. Handle, G10, comes in a variety of colors. Color options vary depending on the drop, so kind of depends. It comes with more of a higher end version. Shouldn't say higher end, it is higher end. It has titanium and S35 VN, so it's a bit more money, but it's nice materials. The reason why I didn't splurge on this knife was because I wanted to see what would happen. I didn't want it to get seized at the Canadian border because I never really ordered from Damn Designs website before, so I wasn't sure if it would set off a bunch of red flags at the border or not, and it didn't. It made it here because I'm holding it. So I just wanted to get something more budget friendly to test it, because if it did get taken at the border, then it doesn't hurt so much. There's also other blade shapes. There's the Oni, that's more of a tanto, and then he's got a whole slew of blade shapes coming out in, I can't remember what, pre-order already happened. It might still be going on now, but anyways, check that out. It's on his Instagram page. You can find a link to Indiegogo. I think it might still be going on. Anyways, I digress. The overall quality, like the fit and finish, very nice. Everything's rounded nicely. Everything feels really nice in hand. There's no sharp edges pointing out anywhere to sun. There's a lanyard hole right there. If you like to use a lanyard. There's some barrel spacers, which look really nice. But yeah, the centering is really nice on there. It's just really, overall, everything's just really well done on it. The only thing that I could nitpick about the fit and finish is this right here, the pivot. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. hexagon. It's been a while since elementary school. This is a hexagon. So it's very hard to make it sure everything's lined up 100%. So, you know, the milling, the hole is a little bit bigger than the pivot. So you could probably take it apart and line it up better. I'm not that anal with it. It's not a big deal. It's you can see some gaps around there, but they're the gaps in the same place, and it's the same size gap. So it's not like, oh man, that's crooked. No, it's just like, it's just sitting in there crooked. You can line it up. Everything's milled exactly. It's just the hole's a little bit too big, so it can twist in there. Not a big deal. Very small nitpick. So the action. Now this has the nicest front flipping action of all of the front flippers I have tested. This is so snappy. It works so well. The detent is very well tuned. You know, it's got a nice detent on it. There is a hole. There's a hole there. Now, this hole could probably be done, you know, with a reverse flick. You could probably flick it open with a reverse flick. I can't. I can only get it to about to there, and then I can finish it off with this. But and as far as the thumb hole, you know, using it with the thumb, I just can't. So, but I mean, it's really predominantly a front flipper, and I really like front flipping with this. Works really well. Now, is it drop shutty? Kinda. Not really, but it's smooth because it's on bearings, so it is smooth. There's just not a lot of weight to the blade, so it's obviously not going to be drop shutty. But you know, it's you know, it's the very best. And you can also slow roll it too. So, anyways, yeah, like that's show you the, I don't know if I did an up close shot of a close up of the pocket clip or not, but you can see it's not recessed screws, but it's easy enough to get it in and out of your pocket. It's I'm just sitting here like this. I'm just trying to line this up because it's, yeah, anyways. It's I'll do this so you can't see me squinting. Anyways, it goes in and out of the pocket easily enough. Even though the screws are sticking up a bit, and it's not a big deal, and it carries quite well. Now, as far as the ergos go, the ergos are very best, as, you know, considering the size of the knife. Most of the time I'm holding the knife like this. So, now I will, hopefully that's not, yeah, maybe hold it here. It does seem to be a little bit far away from the cutting edge of the blade. I feel like I'm back a bit far, so you know, you can choke up, and it feels more comfortable. Just gotta be very, very careful, because that sharpening choil is not a finger choil. So be careful when you're cutting. But the jimping on the blade here, plus that little harpoony patoonie there, if it does fit your thumb very well, so it does feel nice in hand. Like, it feels secure. It is going to be pretty much a 3-fingered knife grip unless you do choke up, unless you have small hands. I have medium-sized hands, so you know, just so you reference. And oh yes, and with the it's kind of dangerous here now. I hope you guys enjoy this, because I may stab myself. So when I'm holding it in my right hand, the pocket clip fits right into here, and it really fills the hand, and it feels really secure. So even though it's not really made for harder use, if you were, say this was the only knife you had and you're in the woods and you need to cut, you mean to make a spear to stab something to eat, then you could, you know, it's gonna do the job. You don't have to worry about it slipping down and cutting your fingers. It's locked. You're locked in there pretty well. Now in the left hand, I find it's not as secure a grip and it's not as comfortable. It actually feels nicer in my right hand. So anyways, take that how you will. Everyone's hands are different, so that point may not matter. Now, one thing I will say, and I mention this every time I see it, it's a deep carry knife. It's extremely deep carry because the pocket clip is up over the back of the knife. While I appreciate that, I really don't like when you can see the pocket clip from the front of the knife. It's just a little thing that bothers me. And to be consistent, I gotta mention it every time I see it. But yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's just I don't like seeing that. But it does carry very well. It's, like I say, it's got a nice weight to it. It's not heavy, but it's got a nice weight, and it's thick. It's thick! So it fits in your, it does help. The thickness of this does help with ergos, but you will feel it in your pocket. So, anyways, if you're in the market for a small knife that's really fun, it's just as nice to fidget with this as it is to use it to cut things. So if you're in the market for something like this, give it a try because it is a really nice knife. So thanks so much for watching. Take care.